Hello and welcome to the Etoft21sports Show on July 4th. How is everyone doing? My name is Erik. I am the man behind Etoft21sports. We have a great show lined up for you today. But first, 1 year anniversary. Didn't think I was going to make it this long doing this thing. 1 year, been going strong. Really appreciate all you guys tuning in every single week to listen to my dumb ass talk about sports. Hopefully I've made you guys some money. And I appreciate all you guys. Also, thank you to all my guests. This week's guest, Leo, anytime I've asked him to be on it, he's always on it. Gino sending in the horse racing bets. Jimbo, there's been times 2 hours before the show I've texted Jim, hey, the guest canceled. Can you come on? Appreciate that. All the other guests, Chase, Kyle, Dave Weaver, Abe, all you guys. Appreciate you guys coming on. Looking forward to season 2. With it being the 4th of July, my boy Gino is at the fireworks right now, so he is not sending in a video. So it's just going to be Leo and myself talking some NBA and also talking some bets to lock in. But before we jump into all that, I would like to say thank you to the sponsors, Sharps. If you're not using Sharps, you are really missing out. Best betting app there is in my eyes. You can track, interact with other bettors. Phenomenal bet tracking app. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link to it in the bio. Click on that. If not, download the Sharps app. Use promo code ETOF499. That way they know old Uncle Rico sent you. Now, without further ado, let's welcome this week's guest to the show, my boy, the Gutsy Greek, a.k.a. Leo. Leo, how you doing today, my man?
What's up, buddy? Happy anniversary.
Yeah, I know, dude. 1 year, dude. Didn't think I was going to make it this long, man.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so honored to be on the anniversary show. I mean, if I knew this, I would have sent you a cake. Like, we would have cut some shit. Like, it would have been amazing.
You know what? I appreciate it, man. You know, you've always been willing to come on it. There's been some last minute things where you've come on. Appreciate you, dude. Appreciate your support, man. You know, but we're here to talk some NBA, man. We're not here to cut some cake. We're not here to do anything else but talk some NBA. Now, there's a big move. I touched on it last week, but you're a Boston fan.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the Smart Porzingis trade? Tell me, just as a fan, what do you think about it?
All right. So you can hear me clearly, right? Because I've got a lot of thoughts for this episode. Smart Porzingis. I absolutely hate losing Marcus Smart. I'm the biggest Marcus Smart defender. There are a lot of people in Boston that were like, oh, he shoots too much. Oh, he does this. Oh, he does that. Like, he costs us games. He's the kind of guy that you absolutely need if you are going to be a contender. You need a rat. He is a rat. I love Marcus. He's been here. I can't believe it's already been 9 years. That was absolutely crazy to me. But that being said, can't really complain about the trade, man. The upside to this trade is ridiculous because I was talking to my buddy who's a Knicks fan, and he's just like, oh, Porzingis, like, it's not as fun as you think. And I'm thinking to myself, we don't need Porzingis to be the star. I just need Porzingis to show up when the other two don't. Like, if that's it. So, I mean, like, this is a really nice looking trade. And we also don't need Porzingis for that long either, because if Porzingis is going to get a lot of breaks throughout the regular season. He's going to be load management. We're going to make sure that he's going to be healthy. Robbie is going to take care of most of the burden. So I kind of sort of love the trade.
I look at it like this. You have someone, because my biggest issue with the Celtics, their half-court offense, it would stall. You have someone you can pick and roll, pick and pop with Porzingis, which I think is huge. I think that's a real good pickup for it. Because of whatever reason, Brown and Tatum, they refuse to be the picker. They will be the guy with the basketball, but they will not be the dirty guy setting the pick. So you got someone who will do that in Porzingis. I think that's a big pickup. Number 2, I don't know if physically in the playoffs Porzingis can hang. That's one worry. Number 3, you lost the one guy that when he sits down to take a dump, there's a noise made because his balls are so big. You know what I mean? I mean, dude, he's not scared, dude. That guy is fucking nails. And I don't know if Brown and Tatum have that dog in them. And
I don't disagree.
Lastly, number 4, if this works and they win a championship, guess who looks the worst? Guess who this is really bad for if this works out and the Celtics win a championship?
Marcus?
Luka. Because Luka couldn't make it work with those two in Dallas. Those two, from what I was told, hated each other and butted heads. So if he goes to Boston and they win a title, that's gonna make Luka look really, really bad. Now Smart came out and he said that the Celtics told him he wasn't going to be traded. Then they traded him. With the Celtics getting some backlash and players not wanting to go there with the way they did Isaiah Thomas, could this lead to some stuff with Smart being very vocal about he was told he wasn't going to be traded?
No. I mean, like we're going to talk about this later on when we talk about Damian Lillard. This false sense of loyalty, like, dude, I love Marcus. Marcus is the best. But that being said, Celtics saw an opportunity to get better, and they took it. Brad Stevens' number one job is to make the team better. Okay. So what? We told Marcus that he's not going to get traded. So, like, let's say Anthony Davis became available and the Lakers just magically say, like, I want Marcus Smart for Anthony Davis. We're going to be like, oh, no. We can't do that kind of trade. You know, we told Marcus, get the fuck out of here. First one up. See you later, dude. I'm very, very sorry. As for the Isaiah Thomas thing, I know a lot of people are talking about that too. And listen, dude, I loved IT. IT was great. It was the most fun season I ever had watching the Celtics. That being said, even with Kyrie being a sociopath, how can you say the Celtics made the wrong decision? We traded a bag of balls for a sociopath who's really good at the game of basketball. They didn't do IT dirty. I don't want to hear that. He couldn't play anymore. We took a guy that was injured, that was expecting $100 million, and we converted him into a superstar player. Now, albeit the superstar was a sociopath, again, he's mentally insane. But how can you possibly say the Celtics didn't win that trade? They did what was best for the organization. That is Brad Stevens and was Danny Ainge's job. I got no problem with it, man.
I don't know if it's going to lead to any backlash. I really don't think. I think the main thing that the Thomas thing led to a backlash was because he did so much and he had gotten hurt. I think that's why it led to a lot of the backlash because, you know, he played when he was hurt. The whole thing with his, like, I think it was his sibling passed away or something, and he still played in the game.
Yeah, his sister.
I don't know. Like, I think with all that stuff, I think that kind of led to everything. I don't think this is going to be a big thing.
So let me ask you a question then, because again, a lot of people say that we did IT dirty. My girlfriend actually just texted me and said, are you out of your freaking mind? They did IT dirty. My question is, you're not pulling the trigger on that trade? Because dude, again, love IT. Love him. He was one of my favorite players. You're giving the little guy with a hip problem $100 million.
But the thing is that all these people need to realize, and I agree with you, that I would have done the trade as it's a business at the end of the day. And you have to do what's right.
It's a business, yes, but you have a responsibility to the fans. Like, and Isaiah Thomas needs to realize this too. And, you know, I think he started to come around and started to realize it, that if the Boston Celtics had handed him $100 million or whatever it was at the time, I think it was like 130. If they had backed up the Brinkstroke for him and paid him all of that money, then, and he couldn't play because of his hip, he would have been hated here. Nobody would have liked him anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And now he's like a hero. We love IT. We'll always love him.
Yep. Oh, I mean, I agree with you 100%. I mean, like, your owner, as your job as a GM is to put your team in the best chance to win. Yeah. And that's what that did. Now with Lillard basically guaranteed to go to the Heat, what do you think of a player under contract with another team basically being able to pick to where he goes? Now, granted, he doesn't have a trade. He doesn't have a no trade clause. This is him saying, hey, I want to go to Miami. What do you think about a player trying to, I don't want to assume bully his way, but like push his way to get traded to a team that he wants to go to?
Yeah, that's cool. How is he able to bully his way? Like, this is the thing I don't understand. If you're Portland, it is the same thing. You have an obligation to your fans. You do not have an obligation to Damian Lillard. I love Damian Lillard, exceptional player. What the hell has he done to get this much respect? This is the thing that's starting to drive me crazy. Like, he's really good and he's a great fantasy player. He's never actually won shit. Like, he hasn't won a thing. Like, we all seem to forget that with Damian Lillard. And not just that, you're an older point guard. You're starting to get hurt more often. I mean, what in the world? What are we talking about? Like, this is a guy that's just, he's exceptional, but he hasn't won. And now he's out there saying, like, I demand to go to the Miami Heat, and like, I want to go to the Heat, and he's making it clear, I only want to go for the Heat. Dude, you have a no trade. Like, where's your no trade clause? You don't have one. Sorry, I'm sending you out for the best package. I don't give a damn.
I agree with you 110%. I think it's awful, and I will say this: good for the Blazers, not for taking the shitty ass package of the Miami Heat are offering them. It blows my mind, all these Heat fans. I've been getting lit up on Twitter, everything else, social media thing, just because I've been telling people Hero's not the guy. The Heat have been trying to trade this guy for 2 years, and they can't find a team that is willing to take him. And what does that say about a 23-year-old that scores over 20 points a game, that they can't get a team to trade for him? I've had 2 different NBA scouts tell me that if he didn't get hurt, the Heat would not have made it to the finals because the ball doesn't move as well when he's there. He just dribbles and looks to drive, and he is a liability on defense. Plus, let's look what the Blazers have. They have Scoot Henderson, Sharp, and Simmons. They have 3 good guards. Why would you add a 4th guard? Why? Like, you need to get a wing, not another guard. A wing, a big something. If I'm the Blazers, I go like this. I say, look, if you're not sending me Bam, you got to find a 3rd team to get me some picks, get me like a young guy, somebody, because I do not want Tyler Hero.
Yeah, I don't understand the Tyler Hero thing either. I have a bias against Kentucky players, especially Tyler Hero. I don't know what it is about that kid. He's just, yeah, he can shoot. That's nice. Like, he's not that great at distributing the ball. Like you said, the ball kind of sticks. But yeah, I mean, let me ask you a question. Who gives the most attractive offer to Portland?
Who gives the most? Well, it depends what you want to do. Like, I think so. What, looking at the big thing, do you want picks? Do you want young players? What do you want from them?
Let's say they want a young player, a bunch of picks, a young quality player already like established, still young, and a bunch of picks. Actually, they probably want 2 young players like that.
Brooklyn?
Do you think Brooklyn makes the deal?
No. If I'm Brooklyn, because Bridges, the way people need to look at it is there's different like windows and timelines. That's a better term. So you look at Cam Johnson and you look at Bridges. They're on a certain timeline because they're in their young 20s. The timeline that Dame is on, he's just starting his 30s. So he's on the same timeline as a team like the Celtics, the Bucks, the Heat, the Nuggets, the 76ers, and the Lakers. Like, those are like the 6 teams that probably could win it next year. He's on that timeline. He's not on a timeline like the next that are looking to put together some pieces and put something out. I know someone said, well, what about Garland? Well, again, Garland's the same. I love Garland. I think Garland's one of the better point guards in the league. I would love to have him on my team. But you just drafted Scoot Henderson. You have Sharp. You have, what's his face, Simmons. That's another guard. I don't want another guard because I already have that. So, like, the wing, if you get like Bridges and some picks, but if I'm the Nets, I'm not going to do it. What do you think?
I mean, I think the easiest fit's Boston, but that's just natural for me. I think Boston, it's Jaylen Brown. Like, it's no, I mean, we wouldn't give up Jaylen Brown for Damian Lillard, but I mean, you still could have put together a really nice package if you still had Marcus. Bunch of players. Like, Marcus is a guy that can contribute right away, but he can also tutor the young kids. Scoot Henderson, could have thrown in one of our wings. Maybe, whether it's a sign and trade, you include Grant Williams if they were high on Grant Williams. Robbie's still involved. Like, you could have made a real interesting offer.
You could have done something. And it's the 4th of July, buddy. They are those are fireworks you hear behind me. Fifth day in a row. Fireworks going on in the neighborhood.
I need to. We're gonna detour for a second. I'm sorry, I got to take over the show. I need to know, what is your opinion on fireworks? Because I have a strong one.
I have no opinion. They're fine. Like, it's
Seriously?
not something like I have no opinion. They're there.
I hate fireworks. I think they're the stupidest things on. I think they're the stupidest things on earth. Number one, they're noisy. Number two, no, I just hate them. Oh, look at the pretty color in the sky. Oh, that one's blue. That one's yellow. Oh boy, here comes the grand finale. Oh, look at all the pretty colors. I fucking hate fireworks with everything inside of me. They're so goddamn annoying.
I have no opinion. They're just kind of
there. They create all this traffic, and especially in my hometown, they create a ton of traffic on like the main road. It's a massive pain in the ass. There's a bunch of unsavory characters that always show up at fireworks, and you're always like, oh, is this going to be one of those news articles in a couple days? Like, things went fucking sour here. Nope, absolutely not. I do not mess with fireworks. I do not enjoy fireworks. They're annoying. They're stupid. And you're looking at colors in the sky. I mean, come on, people. What are we doing? Can we grow up a little bit?
Not an Irving guy and not a fireworks guy.
Oh, no. Fireworks are the worst.
Now, let's say the Heat get Dame. Are they going to come out of the East?
No. When did the Miami Heat become this good? Like, I get it. They're there. They're a pain in the ass to get rid of in the playoffs. First of all, who says that Damian Lillard actually blends with this team? Because I'm not convinced that he's going to blend well with this team. Okay. But you're like, everybody seems to forget there are two top teams in the Eastern Conference. Like, there are two. It's Milwaukee and Boston. Those are the two teams. And yes, the Miami Heat beat Milwaukee in the first round. Yanni was banged up. I think we can all agree if Yanni's not banged up, it's probably Milwaukee in 5 or 6 at most. Okay. And then you also have Boston. And yes, they've beaten us 2 of the 3 years. But let's be honest. Who's the better team? Like, who is really the better team? Okay. Last year, better than anybody, Uncle Rico, Jaylen was banged up. There was something wrong with Jaylen Brown. Now you have the Porzingis thing that's going to add another element. I mean, Boston is head and shoulders above Miami. And you still have other teams in the Eastern Conference that are getting better. You still have the New York Knicks. And if the Knicks can pull off a deal for Paul George, I put them right up there with Milwaukee and Boston. I'm still high on PG.
I say no. Look, they got hot. They shot over their heads when they made this run. They were down by 5 to the Chicago Bulls with 4 minutes left in that play-in tournament. They almost didn't make the playoffs. And like you said, let's be honest. If Giannis doesn't get hurt, they're not getting past that first round. Mm-hmm. And you look at the big thing, the 4 guys that really stepped up. I know Butler was great. I know Bam was great. But the 4 guys that really stepped up, Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, Kyle Lowry. Reality of the situation is this. Martin, you're probably going to have to include in a trade. Gone. Vincent, sign with the Lakers. Strus, sign and trade with the Cavs. Lowry, because of his salary, he's going to have to be moved in all this thing because he's $29 million a year. So you have 3 of those guys gone for sure. Basically 4 of those guys gone for sure. They're not going to have enough players that are capable of doing something. You look at what the Nuggets did. Nuggets had Bruce Brown, Chris Braun, guys that just kind of came out of nowhere that produced in quality time. The year before that, you got Porter for the Warriors hitting important threes. Gary Payton III doing stuff. When the Bucks made their run, Portis, Connaughton, you have to have those fringe role players that are able to do stuff, and I just don't think they'll have enough to do stuff. So I agree with you. I do not think the Heat will be.
Here's
coming
another
out.
thing you brought up like a really good point too. So let's kind of just say CJ McCollum's a really good player, right? Obviously, Jimmy Butler's a little bit better. Jimmy Butler's a little older. They're different kinds of players, but I think you can kind of put them in the same tier it's fair to say. Like CJ McCollum when he was with Portland. Like they're fairly close in the same tier. What I'm getting at though is that like if you look at the rest of the roster, like what's going to be left from the Miami Heat teams and what Portland had, it'll be fairly similar, dude. It's going to be fairly similar. There's not going to be a lot of really good players left. Eric Spoelstra is going to be the game changer, of course, but like there's not that much more talent there. Because all you said, like you said, they're all going, they're all leaving, and I would like Damian in New Orleans.
I think that'd be hilarious. I think it'd be hilarious if they don't win in Portland. He goes to Nolo, and somehow they win in Nolo. I think that
would have to be for Zion, right?
Oh yeah, you'd have to include Zion or BI, one of the two. And I'll be honest, like with Zion's injuries, I don't even know if I'd really want him. He can't stay on the court, dude.
I'm also kind of curious to hear what you think about his off-court festivities.
Look, I'm going to say this. Like, this is what I'm going to say. For the actress that is obsessing about him, she's posting multiple times, I am moving on from you, but yet still going back. And then she got his name tattooed on her face. You got a little bit of a stalker action going on there. You have some serious stalker vibes going on with that girl. So I would beef up the security if I was Zion Williams, just based on that girl.
I wish she would release her OnlyFans makings, like her OnlyFans, how much money she's making in her OnlyFans before and after the Zion saga. Like, I would love to know the difference because realistically, like, not that many people knew this chick's name beforehand. And now, like, everybody that follows the NBA kind of has a clue who she is. So, like, she may just be a marketing genius, bro.
She's way mainstream now.
Yeah.
Irving, your boy, signing with the Mavs. What do you think about it, my man?
This guy should be out of the league. Why is he in the league? For what? I mean, like, what? Find me a team. I saw you getting ready to say something, but this is going to be serious. Find me a team you are confident Kyrie Irving could help and he wouldn't derail. Find me a team in the NBA.
See, this is my one thing why I'm going to defend Kyrie. Okay, now
you're gonna what?
I'm going to defend Kyrie. This is the one thing I'll defend about it. And after I found this out about him, I looked at him differently. Okay, he went to bed. He said goodnight to his mom when he was 10, and he woke up and she passed away that evening. If I'm 10 and I lose my mom like that, and he had a really close relationship with my mom, that would kind of mess me up. I mean, like, yes. Look, does he do stupid shit? Does he say stupid shit? Yes. But I'm just saying, just think about it in that perspective. If you were that young and you said goodnight to your mom and you were very close with your mom, and the next day you woke up and she had passed away, that would mess you up mentally for a while, probably for the rest of your life.
Yes. That is a catastrophic event. I do not want to minimize that event. That is horrific. No child should ever have to go through that. However, this human being is just a pompous lunatic. He's a dick. He's everything that like Skip Bayless called Terrell Owens back in the day, the team obliterator, we can apply now to Kyrie Irving. So I mean, there again, answer my question. Is there a team in the NBA that you can be confident Kyrie Irving will contribute to and super confident he's not going to dismantle the whole thing? Is there any team in the NBA?
This is my thing. Last year, the season he had was so interesting to me. Okay, just hear me out. He had the Nets. He was playing great. I think when the Nets traded him, they were in 4th, okay, in the East. And then he went to the Mavericks. Mavericks were in 4th. They finished 11th in the West. Mm-hmm. So he went from playing some of the best basketball he's played forever to just being a train wreck with the Mavericks. If I'm a GM, what I say, I would just do 1 year increments with Kyrie just to motivate him with money. Just say, look, 35 million. Look, 35 million.
Do it.
I know he won't do it.
He is a cancer. he is a cancer to a locker room. And like, Eric, I don't know how far you want me going down this rabbit hole because I can tell you my thoughts go so far bad with Kyrie. The guy is just a cancer to a locker room.
I know.
I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole for the minimum.
I think this is going to be disastrous because they have Luka's ball centric, Kyrie's ball centric. The ball's not going to move. The other guy's going to get upset. Who's going to have the ball in their hands to close the game? I think this just has disaster written all over it. And it's funny the thing that's funny to me is you give Irving this contract, but what was it? 2 years ago, you wouldn't give $10 million a year to Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
Just think about it like that. Like this could have all been avoided if you just would have given Brunson that $10-15 million a year he wanted.
Oh man, and you know what? Here's like another thing about Kyrie. He thinks he's Colin Kaepernick. He really does. He thinks he's just I can't stand him. And he came to Boston. He did. You know what? Everybody that was bitching about me saying that the Celtics, did IT dirty for all you people. How about how dirty Kyrie did us? Did we all forget about that? His little press conference preseason that comes out and says, I'm going to be here in Boston. I have to sign after the year to get more money, which is fine with all of us. Go get your bag, dude. We had no problem with you. Then he quits on the team. He doesn't even show up for a game 7 because he was filming a freaking movie. He didn't have surgery that day. Okay. This guy is just, he's the absolute worst. And he goes, oh, I want to go home. Like, dude, you're so full of shit. I don't know where to start with this guy. Oh, and then this is where I was going with this. After everything he did to us, he royally screws us over, okay? Which is fine. We were sick of you. You're a cancer to humanity. See you later, bro. Good riddance to you. We found out what you were in Brooklyn. You're a piece of shit there, too. Even those fucking bozos couldn't stand your ass, okay? And then you come to Boston, you ducked us for 2.5 years, you worthless son of a bitch. You ducked us. You didn't play in the Garden one time, you gutless loser. And then you finally have to because God finally shines his light down on us and gives us to you in the first round of the playoffs. And you have the nerve to say because we booed you, we hurt your little feelings, that we're racist, that everybody was chanting racist shit. Thank God I did not get a ticket to that game because I'm telling you right now, I would have thrown the heaviest thing I would have found and I would have knocked him square in his stupid head.
Then you would have gone in jail. That's
okay. It would have been well worth it. There are very few times that going to jail is worth it. That would have been one. I would have been fine with it.
That would have been worth it.
100%.
Who's asking for a trade first, Luka or Kyrie?
It's got to be the sociopath. It has to be the sociopath. Like, Luka seems just way too even-keeled to just be like, I don't know. It's got to be Kyrie. I give Kyrie till the deadline. Kyrie's going to be bitching his way to LA.
He's going to be like, I want it. I want out.
He's the worst. I hate him so much.
Now,
I've never hated another athlete the way I hate him.
Let's pretend that Luka hates next year. Doesn't re-sign the super extension. And next year is the summer of Luka. What teams could you see him playing for if not the Mavs? I got one team. I got one team.
Oh,
I think I got 2 teams, but one of them I don't think is going to work, so I got another team.
Give me both of your teams.
Well, the first one is the Nets, just because they can trade, they can work the package around because Simmons will be on an expiring contract.
Mm-hmm.
So then they'll be freeing up all that money. So obviously some package with the Nets, with all the draft picks that they've accumulated, throw Ben Simmons in there and have like a Luka and then probably Bridges because Cam Johnson would have to go back. My other team is this. Okay. Are you ready for this one?
Tell me.
The Orlando Magic.
Stop it.
Dude, just listen. They can trade. Listen. They can trade 2 first-round picks, Wendell Carter Jr., Jalen Suggs, Jonathan Isaac, and I'm telling everybody right now, Franz Wagner is legit. Throw him in there. Send those guys to Dallas. You got 4 young players and picks, plus one of them Wagner's going to be a borderline all-star next year, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, dude, that's a pretty good package. Wendell Clark, legit big man. Jalen Suggs, point guard. Isaacs, if he could stay hurt.
Here's
wing. I mean, dude, that's pretty good.
It's an excellent package. Here's where I'm going to debunk your theory. It's going to be the same situation as Damian Lillard, though. Will Dallas just kind of allow Luka to dictate where he goes?
But who wants
because
to
he won't. If that's the case, then he's not going to Orlando.
Yeah, but like, look, if I'm hypothetically, I'm a pro athlete. Hypothetically, what state do you want to live in?
Massachusetts, duh.
No, Florida, because you have no income tax.
That's actually very true. That's very, very
true.
So
if I'm like this guy and I'm going to get a super max, I'm in Luka. I'm like, dude, I'm just going to go to Orlando. Orlando's not that bad of a place to play.
No. I mean, it would be fun.
It's not that bad. You know, they have gated communities there. You can live there. I think Luka to Orlando totally makes sense to me. Now go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think that's a really, really interesting one. That would be a lot of fun.
Which one do you think?
To me, I think Boston is always in the mix with these kind of deals. I don't think we'd actually be able to pull it off, though, because Tatum and Luka would just probably not work. If I had to pick a dark horse in, like, maybe Sacramento, bunch of young players, they could throw them Sabonis. De'Aaron Fox gets some help. You got a wing guy. Maybe they could fit some other pieces, a bunch of first rounders. If I'm not mistaken, I think they have a couple other teams first rounders too. I think Sacramento could be a dark horse.
That could work. Another person, James Harden, opted in. They're working to find a trade partner for him, but then it came out Sixers may keep him. They may want to run it back from with him. Now, what do you think? First of all, I'm going to say this. He played better in that series against the Celtics from game 1 to game 7 than Embiid.
Yeah.
He played better than Embiid did. Do you think they're going to trade him, or do you think the 76ers are just going to be stuck with him and going to have to run it back?
76ers should get rid of him the second they get the chance. I think the 76ers have to blow this thing up. They need to accept that it's not going to – I mean, listen, again, it's kind of like what are your goals, right? Like if you are the owner of the 76ers, yeah, you're going to make plenty of money on this team. Like you can build up a hype train. You know, you'll probably get out of the first round. Hey, depending on the matchup, you might be able to get out of the second round. Maybe you'll find the Eastern Conference Finals. But let's be honest, this team is not a contender the way that it's built. It's not good enough. James Harden's another year older. He played out of his mind in the playoffs, and it still wasn't enough. Joel Embiid is proven to be incredibly overrated, especially when it comes to the playoffs. If I'm Philadelphia, it is time to blow it up. Now that you can get like a serious return on investment, I would get rid of Embiid. I'd get rid of Harden. I'd get rid of just about everybody at this point.
My dream NBA offseason is the Heat are unable to get Damian Lillard. And Pat Riley trades Lowry, Duncan Robinson for James Harden. Because look, if you're the 76ers, you got a point guard, you got a sharpshooter, you'll probably have to throw in Martin, you'll probably have to throw in a couple more assets. You get Harden down to Miami, chilling all year at the Booby Trap, which is the premier adult entertainment club in the greater Miami area. And you got Riley and Sproul yelling at him. I'm going to live for that. That's my dream offseason, just to see Harden in that Heat uniform. But let's be honest, that probably won't happen. I know there was a lot of stuff with him going to the Rockets. Rockets signed Fred VanVleet. Obviously,
why would the Rockets want him again?
I have no idea. But that was the big rumor that they're going to make a play for him. He wanted to go back there, and they wanted him, but they signed VanVleet. That's not going to happen.
It's another thing, right? Like Harden's one of these guys. Find me a team that James Harden turns into a contender, or like that you can bank on him, like actually making them better.
He made the Rockets a lot better. There was that 2-year run where he made the Rockets a lot better. 2
years made him a lot better. Yippee, Kaye, you won nothing. Congrats! You didn't even get to the finals.
Maybe the Jazz Maybe he could go to the Jazz because the thing is like
there is a 0% chance Danny Ainge ever trades for him.
I'm just telling you, Ainge loves these expiring contracts. He loves them. So, could trade it, get the expiring contract. I know the big rumor is the Clippers. He's actually minus 120 on Bet Online to go to the Clippers.
Really?
Yeah. But if I'm the Clippers, look, I want to keep George because I'm like you. If you have George, Leonard, and Harden, that's a legit 3 if all of them can stay healthy. But then what's the package the 76ers get back? Marcus Morris, Robert Covington,
Again,
Norman Powell. Like, it doesn't. I just don't know package-wise what you can get for him.
If the Clippers can just stay healthy and just keep the roster that they have, I mean, you can make a case for them winning the West. I mean, like, in all seriousness, if you can just keep these guys healthy and it was just a 2K roster, you can make a legitimate case for them to win the West. So, again, the question becomes, if you're the Clippers, do we want to, like, blow this thing up? Or do we want to hope that these guys can stay healthy for an entire season?
Simmons for Harden. Who says no?
I mean,
dude, that would be hilarious. That would be absolutely phenomenal if they traded him back. That would be great, dude. That would be phenomenal if they traded him back.
That would be peak NBA offseason.
Now we're to everyone's favorite part, the betting part of this. We each have 3 bets. As always, the guest kicks off. Leo, you are the guest.
That's right, baby. I'm a big tennis guy. I have one of my absolute favorite picks at Wimbledon. If you don't mind, you're a tennis guy. I know you're a big tennis guy, but if you don't mind me bitching real quick, Wimbledon's the worst tournament. I mean, it is the most overrated Grand Slam ever. It always rains. The first week of the Grand Slam is absolutely miserable because then it's just a circus to try fit everything in. It's impossible to bet because you can't predict the goddamn weather, okay? Then you're stuck only having 2 courts with a roof on it, so then you're stuck like being a degenerate just looking for something in those matches, okay? It's just no fun. It's no fun. But tomorrow the weather is going to be clear. There's a 10% chance of rain tomorrow. So, I mean, yeah, that's a tough one, but, like, that's a fun slam, dude. I love the Aussie Open. My first pick is Milos Raonic. He's going against Denis Novak. I love Milos in the spot. I know he didn't have a great match against Jordan Thompson last time out. He's been on the comeback trail, but Denis Novak is not good. He is not good. He's been stuck on the challengers for a long while. There is a reason for that. At one point, I believe he was top 50. That was one lucky season. Milos should absolutely dominate this match with his serve. Denis Novak has a piss-poor second serve. I'm expecting Milos to dominate. You can get him at minus 110. That is a no-brainer. Sign me up, baby. I'm ready to play.
I like it. My first one, never too early to lock in some NFL futures, and found one I like.
Ooh.
It's a player future.
Ooh.
Give me Aaron Rodgers under 3,950.5 yards passing. A couple reasons I like this bet. First, Father Time is undefeated. We started to see it last year. Rodgers wasn't throwing the ball downfield as much. The only time he threw it downfield is when he got a free play. Rodgers had over 500 yards less passing last year compared to the year before while playing in one more game. So it just, you know what I mean? He's just not throwing the ball as much and downfield. Also, Nate Hackett will be calling plays. I tried to tell everyone last year, designing an offense, calling plays is hard, and that Hackett will be a train wreck. Do you think now you're going to one of the biggest egomaniacs in the game and he's going to be yelling at you? Now you have that pressure. Do you think that's going to be going well with Hackett calling plays? No, he's way over his head. Jets have a good offensive line, and Salah has stated that this is going to be a running team first, and I really believe that he's going to lean on Hall and run the ball. Plus, let's just look at the huge step up in defenses he's going to play. Rodgers is going from playing the Vikings, Lions, and Bears 6 games a year to now playing Vic Fangio's defense in the Dolphins. Bill Belichick and the Patriots, and the Bills have a great defense with Leslie Frazier calling the plays. Stiffer comp, more of a ball running team, and Father Time. I think he's going to go well under this. So I got the under 3,950 and a half yards passing for A.A. Rod.
Let me ask you this, because I heard this conversation today and I thought it was super interesting. Is Andy Reid ready to surpass Belichick?
No.
Are you sure? Because, like, if you look at the numbers, you can make a case. Like, I agree. Right now it's Belichick, but, like, I think one more Super Bowl, you can put Andy Reid ahead of him. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean,
think about the Super Bowls, but here's the key. Think about Andy Reid without Patrick Mahomes, and then think about Bill Belichick without Tom Brady.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, because what? He made it to one with Philly with McNabb.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
But he had all the conference championships, too.
That's true. That's true. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, like, maybe
People
if he gets
in the comments, let's hear what you got.
Maybe if he gets 1 to 2, like I could see it, but I don't know. I don't see that. I don't know. I'm not a big Andy Reid guy because of his off the field stuff.
That definitely makes sense. Let me throw out my bet number 2 because this is my
I
big
hate the
underdog.
Lakers 99. I love this guy because he always talks shit to Gino. He chimes in no way.
If you look up the numbers, it is way closer than you thought. Because my initial reaction is get the hell out of here, and they're just trying to fill some airtime. And then they started talking about it, and it's like, oh wait, like yeah, one more. I think he can actually like legitimately make that case. You in the mood for like a massive dog?
I love it.
This kid Mochizuki from Japan. He's going against Tommy Paul. His full name is Shantaro Mochizuki. He's plus 550. Yeah. See, nobody ever thinks about it, but like once you start looking at it, it's mind blowing stuff. But Shintaro Mochizuki, he's going against Tommy Paul. Listen, Tommy Paul's a lot better player. He should be a dark horse to win this tournament. But in his last matchup against Francisco Cerundolo at the Queen's Club, Tommy Paul actually messed up his hip. He couldn't really run. He was struggling. He's really it was really worrisome, not to mention the fact that he always underachieves in slams. Honestly, he's the American I've been waiting for to wake up and make a big run. He hasn't done it yet. For some reason, he doesn't love the grass. He doesn't play well at Wimbledon. Mochizuki, listen, you're looking at limited sample size here. He did actually come through qualifying and did a really good job. He beat Hugo Grenier, who's very good on indoor hard courts and grass courts. He ends up beating Lucas Klein, who's old and kind of sort of sucks, so we'll let that one go. But then he also beat Zomber Piros, who I'm moderately high on, beat him in straight sets. This kid's coming in confident. He has enough of a game where if Tommy Paul is actually hurt, well, now you could be into something. But I would only probably play it on a book where it's if the player retires after the first set, you get the win. That is key. Make sure you look at the rules too, because there are some books that will say, "Ooh, Uncle Rico, tell me."
I'll tell you off air, my friend.
Oh, come on.
Off air story. Off air
Sorry,
for that.
peeps.
Off air for that.
Is it good or bad? Because now I'm damn it.
I'll tell you
Let's end the show.
I like it. I'll definitely look into it. I'm not a big Tommy Paul guy. Wu, I don't think Wu's gonna go until after the All-Star break. Are you on the Wu-Tang? Have you hopped on the Wu-Tang yet?
Absolutely. From the day you called me and told me to pull over and get a bet in on him, I have been all over it.
I love this kid. I absolutely love this kid. I'm telling everyone right now, he's going to lead MLB in strikeouts. He is going to lead the MLB in strikeouts next season. And my next bet is one of my guys. I have these certain guys I love, certain guys I like to bet on, and one is pitching tomorrow. It's my boy Beto from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Short appearance against the Brewers, but he did get ahead in the count. Should have hit a strikeout prop against the Brewers, but the Brewers did a good job of getting him to him early. Short appearance. This kid is a modern day Ricky Vaughn. He is wild and he throws fast. It is phenomenal to watch this kid throw. And he's going against a Dodgers team that has 550 strikeouts against righties this season, striking out at a 26% clip. For the last 7 days, not including today, they've played 6 games and they have struck out 55 times in those 6 games. That is 9.2 Ks per game. Look, they're just not seeing the ball. They're just not hitting the ball well. I'm going to take my boy Beto, and I'm going to take his strikeout prop over. It's probably going to be 4.5, so I'll take that as my next bet.
There you go. I got another dog for you. I'm kind of excited about this one because it's my girl, Elina Svitolina. She's going up against Elise Mertens. Elise Mertens, another one. She's coming off an injury. That's never good when you're playing on grass because one little slip on this stupid service, it's just going to exacerbate the injury. She actually had a terrible loss at the French Open against Pavlyuchenkova. In her only warm-up match, she couldn't get through it against Pliskova. Then she had a pretty decent first-round match. Like, she played okay, but in reality, it was more of her opponent that was just kind of handing it to her. Elina Svitolina is having a resurgence of a lifetime. She's been fantastic since coming back from having a baby. Was really clean in a big match against Venus Williams. And I know Venus is older now and not really all that good. But Svitolina was really clean in that match. She's won 3 of her 4 matchups against Elise Mertens on the tour. I just look at this one, and honestly, Elina Svitolina is one of the girls that I kind of had circled. Like, she gets breaking this draw. Like, she could really make a run here. Like, she's in that kind of form. So getting her at plus 130 is a no-brainer for me. I think she should be favored in that matchup. If I was to make the line, I'd have her minus 180.
Okay, I like it. I have a couple tennis bets for you.
Ooh.
I want to fade Sophie Kinnan after she just beat Coco.
That was my honorable mention because, like, I really like the girl that she's playing. I do. I really like the girl that she's playing, but Sophia played so well, and she's just like it feels like she might actually do something.
And the next one, look, I love Daria. Daria is a phenomenal clay court player, but she's playing on grass.
You're taking Barrage, you son of a gun.
I really feel, and you get Barrage, Great Britain kid. She's going to have the crowd on her side. She's plus 350. I like that one a lot. I like that one a lot. And we need to remember, even though she beat Dolehide was in control of that set. And I really think Dolhide's inexperience in the moment cost her that match because she was up and she should have won that second set. So I'll take the dog there at plus 350. Look at me throwing a little extra ones out there.
I love it. Uncle Rico, let me ask you this. I know that you coach tennis and like you're involved in tennis. I didn't know you follow it so much.
I know a little bit of stuff, especially this time of year when stuff's kind of dying down for me and before I hop in my football stuff.
This doesn't sound like a little bit. It sounds like you're kind of underselling it.
My next bet, I'm going deep for this one. I'm going deep. I am taking Dalton Vasharshu. Sorry, there you go. Dalton Vasharshu. Do you know who he plays for?
I don't have a clue what you just said.
The Toronto Blue Jays. His base total over tomorrow versus Lance Lynn. Lynn has given up the second most hits this season in LB, and he's given up the most hits to left-handed batters. Varshu is the lefty with the most hits on the Blue Jays versus right-handed pitching. You know what? I'm going to take his over base total of 1.5.
What a call. I mean,
just
dude, I feel like you should put in like a caption underneath, like exactly how to spell his name so people don't get confused. We gotta get you. We gotta get you with the pronunciations, dude. We really do. Yeah. Oh God, I miss having our UFC show when you would just aim for like some of the Brazilian names.
There it is. That's how you spell it.
Boom.
Varsho. Boom.
Varsho.
Whatever, dude. People know what I meant.
Varsho.
People know what I mean.
There's no E.
People know what I mean.
I would love to see you try my full name.
You know what? I don't even want to try your full name, dude, to be honest with you.
Do you know what my full name is?
I do know what your full name is.
Including my middle name?
I don't know what your middle name is, though.
I'm typing it out to you right now. You want to give it a shot?
No chance, dude. No chance, dude. That's why all my friends' names are like Nick, Dan. You know, just basic names, dude. Those are my friends. Dave. You know, that's how I roll.
Dave, Joe.
I'd like to thank you for coming on, my friend. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you on social media and what you have going on?
I'm a little MIA on social media these days, you know, just a little busy bee. But yeah, hit me up on the Gutsy Greek. Give me a follow at some point. I'll tweet some stuff out for you. If you're interested in some tennis picks, just shoot me a DM. I always got you. I don't charge like some of these people. I'm also on Sharps app, so shout out to those guys. They're awesome.
Phenomenal app.
Yeah. And hey, little announcement here. I'm back at BTV, so go follow at BTV Bets. Go do it.
Make sure you give BTV and Leo a follow. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for making it a great year. We'll be back next week starting our NFL divisional previews. We're starting with the NFC South. Make sure to tune in for that. Let's make some money, some cash, some tickets. Until next week, my friends.